stretched to the point of no turning back. Flight of fancy on a windswept field, standing alone, my senses real. Fatal attraction holding me fast. How can I escape this irresistible grasp? Can't keep my eyes from the circling skies, tongue-tied and twisted, just an earthbound wistful eyes. Tips of my wings, unneeded warnings. I thought of everything. No navigator to find my way home. Unladen, empty, turned to stone. A sole intention that's learning to fly. Condition grounded, yet determined to try. Circling skies, tongue-tied and twisted, just an earthbound misfit eyes. On a wing of prayer, my grubby halo, vapor trail and empty air. Above the clouds I see my shadow fly. Out of the corner of my watering eye, dreaming unthreatened by the morning light. Could throw the soul right through the roof of the night. There's no sensation to compare with this. Splendid animation, state of bliss. I keep my eyes from the circling skies, tongue-tied and twisted, just an earthbound whisper.
So ya thought ya might like to go to the show to feel the warm thrill of confusion that space cadet love. Something eluding you, sunshine. Is this not what you expected to see? If you wanna find out what's behind these cold eyes, you'll just have to crawl your way through this disguise. Turn on the sound effects. Drop it on. Drop it all. You! Yes, you! Stand still, Levy! To school, there were certain teachers who had had the children any way they could. By owning their derision upon anything we did, exposing every weakness, how we have been written by the kids. But in the town, when they got home and ate their fat psychopathic wives who thrashed them within inches of their lives. You, back behind the bike shed. Stand still, Larry. I am just
seem to think straight. So I sit in the corner where no one will bother me. I think I should speak now. I can't seem to speak now. My words won't come out right. Feel like I'm drowning. I'm feeling weak now. I can't show my weakness. I sometimes wonder, where do we go from here? when I was burned and broken, while the days slip by from my window, watching. And where were you when I was hurt and I was helpless? Because the things you say and the things you do surround me. While you were hanging yourself on someone else's words, dying to believe in what you heard, I was staring straight into the shining sun. Lost in thought and lost in time, while the seeds of life and the seeds of change are planted. Overhead, the albatross hangs motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant tide comes willowing across the sand, and everything is green and submarine. Something stirs and something tries and starts to climb toward the light. Chance two separate glances meet, and I am you, and what I see is me. And do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land and help me understand the best I can? And no one calls us to move on. 'cause all your life will ever be. Run, rabbit, run. Dig that hole, forget the sun. And when at last the work is done, don't sit down, it's time to dig another one. The longer you live and how you fly, but only if you ride the tide. Balanced on the biggest wave, you race towards an early grave. song is over. Thought I have something more to say. Home, home again. I like to be there when I can. And when I come home cold and tired, it's good to warm my bones beside the fire. Far away across the field, the tolling of the iron bell calls the faithful to their knees to hear the softly spoken magic spell.
And I am not frightened of dying. Any time will do, I don't mind. Why should I be frightened of dying? See no reason for it, but it'll go sometime.
Get away. Well, get a good job with more pay and you're okay. Money, it's a gas. Well, grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. Look on caviar for starting and think about me a football team. Money, get back, 'cause I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack. And money, it's a hit, but don't give me that too goody good bullshit. I'm in a high fidelity first class traveling set, and I think I need a Learjet. that's a crime. We'll share it fairly, but don't take a slice of my pie. The money, so they say, is the root of all evil today. But if you ask for a rise, it's no surprise when they're giving none away. Away, 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 away. Ooh. busy day. One thing's on my mind. For one of the price of tea and the slice, the old man died.
The lunatic is on the grass. The lunatic is on the grass. Remembering games and daisy chains and laughs. got to keep the loonies on the park. The lunatic is in the hall. The lunatics are in my hall. The paper holds their folded faces to the floor. And every day the paper boy brings more. Is in my head. A lunatic is in my head. You raised the play, you made the change, you rearrange me till I'm sane. You lock the door and throw away the key. Well, there's someone in my head, but it's not me. Think of anything to say. Nothing is nice. That you taste, all you feel, all that you love, and all that you hate, and all you distrust, all you say, and all that you give, and all that you deal, and all that you buy, beg or rose, all you create, all you destroy, and all that you do, all you say, and all that you eat, and everyone you meet, and all that you slight, and everyone you fight, and all that is now, and all that is gone, and all that's to come, and everything under the sun.
There is no dark side in the moon, really. Matter of fact, it's all dark.
Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. Where have you been? It's alright, we know where you've been. You've been in the pipeline, filling in time, provided with toys, scouted for boys. You bought a guitar to punish your mom.
undisciplined it remains, mercifully.
Yes, and neither would you, Derek, this star nonsense.
Yes.
No, it isn't.
I'm sure of it.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you a tray? Your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change. Did you exchange a walk-on part in a war, the leader role in a cage? let me get my wits about me here. So did you guys have a good time tonight? Awesome. We try to make it a point not to talk when playing this material because it doesn't deserve to be talked over. Just play it instead, but it takes an incredible cast of people to pull off this whole thing. So we're just gonna start, first of all, with the thanks and the pleases. And first of all, the thank you is that the most important thing you guys can ever give is your time. We appreciate you so much coming out and giving some of your time with us and sharing that. We consider ourselves to be so blessed to get to do this, much less on a routine basis. Put your hands together for Mr. Spencer McDonald, back there running sound for you all night. Ladies and gentlemen, as the music was being performed, so were the videos being simultaneously streamed during our performance. Put your hands together for Mr. Dayton Urias. We've got our buddy Stephen Alva back here who really keeps this thing in line. We appreciate you so much, Stephen, for just helping out with all the stuff that you do. Mark Spangrud is our housekeeper and forensic expert that we keep on hand for the band here, Mr. Mark Spangrud. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of Shine On with that absolutely gorgeous tenor voice, singing and playing 12 strings, 6 strings, electric guitar, Mr. Randy Kellerman. Over here on keyboards in the far corner, he usually hangs his own light, but I didn't see him do it tonight. But he's been in the band as long as we've been together. Tickling that ivory, Mr. Robin Canada. Laying down all that beautiful bottom end, the great Ray Bresden. I made this phone call sometime about 3 years ago thinking we were just getting a saxophone player. Boy, were we wrong. She sings, she plays beautiful saxophone, percussion, flute, keyboards. Put your hands together for Julie Sussman. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, in order of their amazing performance of Great Gig in the Sky, Sharia Bissonette on vocals. Don Polito in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, on loan, and what a fine job she did, first time playing with the band, Jay Landgraf. It is very easy to sit here and bask in the fact that you get a chance to play a majority of this really cool guitar stuff, but I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I would not get a chance to be who I am on this stage without this guy standing here to my left. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Glenn Hall on lap steel guitar, holding it all down for me. I met this guy at 17 years old, and he didn't let me sing in his church, but he's forced to play with me now. But how about all those amazing face-melting poses? Yeah! On keyboards, Barry Hovis.
Our fearless leader, our music director, our fantastic lead guitarist, lead vocalist, Aaron Broering. Yeah!
Sometime about 20 years ago, our church, which was kind of a little avant-garde, we got a chance to play some secular music, but this particular weekend was about human empathy. Heaven forbid we could use a little bit more of that this day and age, couldn't we? But that particular weekend, they allowed myself and the drummer behind me to play a Pink Floyd song called On the Turning Away. And we kind of looked at each other funny after that weekend and saying, is this something we want to think about? But
20-something years later, the true backbone of this band, ladies and gentlemen, all those amazing videos you saw streaming, this guy took the time to put all of that amazingly together. The true backbone of Shine On, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Lawrence. So we'd love to say hi to as many of you wonderful people as possible at the end of this next song. God bless you, and again, thank you so much for supporting us and coming out. Again, we'd love to say hi to as many of you folks as possible. God bless you.
Is anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on, I hear you feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax. I'll need some information first. Well, just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts?
There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you say. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got this feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. This is not how I am. And I have become comfortably numb. And I have become comfortably numb.
Okay, just a little pinprick. There'll be no more. But you may feel a little sick. Now can you stand up? I do believe it's working. Good. Well, that'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go.
There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you say. dream